Hi, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today we are reflecting on the Decan Walk, my Decan Walk for 2023-2024. I am on a Decan Walk, and I have been studying this year and a little bit of last year astrology as it pertains to tarot. I've been digging into that. I've always been into astrology, I've always been into tarot, but I never really kind of combined, like really did a deep dive into the combined study of the two together, right? Like, I mean, I've heard things here and there and I've applied things here and there, but I wanted to kind of do a deep dive. And I was thinking about doing this deck and walk, and I was going to start in January. And so when I went to start in January, of course, I realized that you need to start in March at the beginning of Aries season. So I waited, and I'm so glad that I didn't just go ahead and start in January because everybody's doing it now. And so this has been a pleasure to kind of see what everybody else is doing, listen to people's videos, and chat about the decans and just kind of what they've come across, what they've run across. Marlena Teresa is managing a whole group of us. I don't know how I don't know how she's doing that, but she's doing it. And she is managing it mostly on her YouTube page and on Boho Tarot Facebook group. So I will link her first video of her first Deck and Walk. I will link her first Deck and Walk video of her Deck and Walk series on YouTube here below so that you can get over there and kind of like check out her stuff. So I'll put that below. I have been following along with her, and I have been following along with other people who've been posting things. And I have also been doing her spread. She's been putting out a spread for every decan, which has been great. So if you don't know what a decan is, let me see if I can explain it. I've never actually tried to do this out loud. I do understand it, but we're gonna try to do it. I'm just gonna do it. But if you don't know, I would say check out Marlena Teresa. She's very articulate when it comes to these things. So I and it what a decan is if you think of the sky, the astrological sky or the astrological map as being a circle, 360 degrees, right? And there are 12 slices of that pie, right? 12 slices of that circle, right? One for each of the 12 signs. Then if you break each slice down into three segments, three 10-degree segments equaling 30 degrees, as you're going around the circle, you will eventually get to 360 degrees. So for every 10-degree segment, Aries broken into three. So we will say Aries 1, 2, and 3, that's 30 degrees. And then we'll go Taurus 1, 2, and 3, that's 30 more degrees. Now we've covered 60 and going around and around and around until we get to 360 through all 12 signs. And every 10-degree segment is a decan, basically. Decan, because, deca, whatever, right? So that is what we're doing. Every 10 degrees or every 10 degrees turn of this astrological map, we are studying the tarot card. Well, I am studying the tarot cards as they have been assigned to those segments of the circle, right? Because the Golden Dawn did give them assignments, and I've never studied them, so here I am. So what I've been doing is I've been keeping a sort of little journal in my, this is just like one of those journals that you can do in this app. What is this thing called? Good Notes, I think. I've just been doing I put this, here's the circle so you can see it. I put that there and you can get that anywhere. And then I dropped this here, even though I don't fully understand it, but I intend to study this a little bit more. So I just dropped this here so I would have it. And then I was keeping track of my resources that I'm using. I refuse to buy anything. So I have not purchased anything. All of these are things that I either had already or had on my Kindle, or this one I was able to, Marlena Teresa suggested it in her first video, and I was able to get it on Kindle Unlimited. So I didn't have to pay for that because I already pay for Kindle Unlimited and I can download, however many for free. So I downloaded that and I've been using that as well. So that is what I've been using as far as books go. I do have one more book on my shelf that I am planning to use eventually, but I'm already doing a lot with this. So I'm not ready for this yet. But maybe next year or maybe later in the year I might get into this, but for right now, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at right here. And I'm not doing this for every turn of this is more for moon phases, but and these two are more for moon phases, but I've been doing the moon phases since since late last year. So I'm continuing that through as I go. So I'm keeping that. And then we're adding in this. This I've had on my Kindle for ages. This I've had on my shelf since I think I saw it on the curated shelf. Oh, she's now what is her new channel name? Oh my, I forgot. Dark Fae. She's Dark Fae Tarot on YouTube. She talks about this. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw this book, and I downloaded it, and I bought it on Amazon, and I wasn't able to. I never read it, so we're gonna use that, and then this. So that's that. Now I just kept a few notes on Aries season, this visual kind of slice record to just kind of break it up. And then I was keeping notes about the season, like how it felt to me personally, things that I saw happening politically or with my family, with my friends, just sort of like notes about the energy of that season. This is the spread that. Oh no, these are the cards. So I cataloged the cards, what they were, and just kind of made notes about each card and thoughts about that. So I did random spreads, any spreads that I thought that I was doing based on the energy of the season, I put in here. I have another tarot journal that I use as well that I put other spreads in when I want to keep track of those. But anything that I felt I was doing based on the energy of this season, I put here in this journal. And so this was one of them. So Lent came and went, and during Lent, I was pulling the Bible verses to go with the cards for the Decan, so I kept those here and the thoughts about those here. Marlena Teresa provides us she provided us with a spread for every Decan, so I was keeping her spread and the cards I pulled here with some notes below. And for each Decan, I pulled from the internet, basically. I just Googled a tarot spread for, the Planetary Association. And I kept that here as well in this jar with Aries 2. And it's, again, I put the little slice here and just to mark the change in the Decan. And I kept some notes below of what was happening personally around me and in the world around me and in my personal life and the energy that I wanted to keep note of. So I kept that here. Yep. And again, with the cards, with the Bible verses, Palm Sunday spread, kept it in here. This was Marlena's other second Decan of Aries, Aries 2 spread she gave us. And so that was my notes on that. My notes on my sun spread. I got this off Google from, I just Googled tarot spread for the sun and, this popped up and this is the one I liked. So I did this one. So then we got into Aries 3. And here we are again with her spread. And I did some more spreads here that were sort of like my own personal stuff that I got into that I'm not going to get into on the internet. But, yeah, so I kept all of that in here as well. And then we got into Taurus, and here's my my title page for Taurus. And that's my journal and kind of how I kept that. I don't know that I'm also still working in my Moonology diary, and I'm still using this to supplement this. This is just the guidebook for the Heavenly Bodies astrology. I like it because it's simple and to the point. It's like real quick. If I need something, if I want to know something, it's just like I really am just using this as a supplement to this for my moon work and also now for my Decan work. So there's that. Before we get into the individual cards for the Decans, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Aries in general. I did use this deck. I was using this deck last year with the Moonology Diary as well, and now this year I'm just pulling it out. I'm not using it as an oracle card, as an oracle deck now. I'm only using it sort of to pull out the energy that goes with the Decan. This deck is split into Decans, so it has 3 cards for each turn of the wheel, basically. So it's for each moon. There's 3 cards. And so I pulled out the one that went with each Decan and I put them with the cards for the 10 days or whatever. So that's kind of how I've been using this. And I'm just laying this here as like a energy so that you can kind of see what the energy was or so that I can see when I look back at this. I also pulled a personal power oracle deck. She has one for each astrology sign in here, and this was the Aries. I am fearless. So that stayed out for the whole season of Aries. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about Aries. It's a fire sign along with Leo and Sagittarius. Aries is passionate, motivated, and confident leader who builds community with their cheerful disposition and relentless determinations. They're very impatient. They can't wait for a long time for things to happen, and so they can miss out on opportunities sometimes. It's a cardinal sign, which means it's the start of a season. Let me see. I never really understood cardinal, fixed, and mutable until now. So I'm excited to finally know what that means. I've always heard it, and I've always known Aries is a cardinal sign, but I never really understood what cardinal sign. I never really understood what cardinal sign meant until now, so that's good. I'm learning things. I'm learning all kinds of stuff. So that's what I learned about Aries. The ruling planet is Mars. It's the first house. All these things here. Okay, so Aries are energetic, forceful, and outgoing. Like the energy of the first rush of springtime, they move into the world in a headstrong, pioneering way and prefer starting to finishing. They tend to rush into things and may also be impatient. They have great vitality and tremendous need to be physically active. As far as the way that I felt during the season, I came into it feeling very anxious and very nervous. And then I kind of went into, I felt like there was a lot of new, fresh things happening in my life. I got introduced to some new people. I started a new book. And so that was exciting. And so, yeah, and I was feeling the creative energy of it, and the I was feeling some blossoming confidence. I was. So now the self-reliance I didn't feel so much, I gotta admit. I did have to see the tower on my table every day in the first Decan of Aries, because the first Decan is actually it. The word is written Decan, but for some reason people say Decan, and I asked Google, and Google said Decan, so we're gonna say Decan. That's what we're gonna do. Um, but in the first Decan of Aries, we had the Tower, which is Mars, in um, in Aries, which is the Emperor. I'm gonna zoom in, and because of this being the ruling planet, Mars, I had to look at this tower every day, and I have issues with the tower. I never used to, but I had something happen to me when the tower was pulled, and it just caused a little bit of PTSD. I gotta say, and I haven't dealt with my shit, and so having this out for a whole 10 days and having to look at this tower card for a whole 10 days definitely helped me. I don't feel so jumpy anymore. And not only did I have it out, but I pulled it several times on several different spreads, upside down, right side up, several times over, using different decks. It was crazy. So, yeah, I did notice that in as far as the energy. I feel like it was a version of sort of like immersion therapy, like I just was thrown in there. So then we moved from, and so we had the second, Aries one was the Two of Wands. It was giving us that new, anticipation, that sort of bursting energy, bursting on the scene, right? And then we moved to the three, and it just went right in order: two, three, and four. So we went two, and then we went three, which changed. The Emperor stays the same because he's Aries, but the sun is changed. The ruling planet changed to the sun, and so it was the sun in Aries, which was, and you can see here the sun in Aries. And I'm gonna put a link for this deck below because people keep asking me. But to be honest, this is a little. Hang on, let me get the box. This is a little cheapy deck I bought off Amazon. This is the title of it. You have to look. Hang on, it's upside down. To look those letters up, and it should pop up. If you look up those letters in tarot deck, it should pop up for you. But Listen, this deck is nothing special, but I like it because I bought it last year specifically to use for study, and it has been working very well because it says exactly what it is on the card. So it has the glyph, but I don't have to, it's not just the glyph. It says Mars, it says Aries. So I'm not guessing I'm not scraping my brain trying to remember which glyph is what, in addition to still trying to learn, what the decans are and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was too much. And I didn't want one like that. I wanted one that just damn said what it is. So, and I like this one because it said what it is. And that's what I bought. That's why I bought this one. It also has the decans on the cards. So that's nice. And it has some keywords. And I love the chakra associations at the top. Now, it doesn't have the chakra, the little mandalas or whatever that you normally find there. But I like that it has the colors and it has where the chakra is in the body. So that's been interesting to take a look at as the decans are changing. So there's that. Okay, so then we move from the 3 to the 4, and the ruling planet changed to Venus, which was the Empress. So then we had the Empress and the Emperor, and I did do a video on my Empress and Emperor power couples in my collection. So I will link that for you if you want to see it there. And so that was the decans. And so that's what we went through there. And now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the decks that I used. I did try to keep note. I don't normally keep track of the decks that I use, but I did this time. So I showed you some of them already that I used. Okay, so let's talk about some of the decks I used. So for Aries 1, I used this one pretty much exclusively. This is Tarot Interdit, I think is how you say it, Vampiria. It is a French vampire deck. I love it. I stand wholeheartedly by this deck. I think it's wonderful. I like it. I'm here for it. It's gonna bow, and it's not the most expensive stock, but it's great. So this, I think, is a beautiful deck. I used it pretty much exclusively for Aries 1, and even coming into Aries 2, I wasn't really ready to let it go. I felt that it was very fiery, and it's not a new deck in my collection per se, because I keep feeling like things that I bought last year are new, but I got to remember that it's already almost March. So last year was quite a while ago. So this is not new, but it felt new because I hadn't been using it that much until like the end of last year. And so I have really been enjoying this one. It's beautiful. It really is. And it reads like a dream. So yeah, so I used this one in conjunction with Seeker Oracle and the Messenger Oracle. Now, I started out using them together, and then I decided I didn't like them together. I feel they have different messages. I feel they have different messages to give, and so I stopped using them together and I started using them separately. And I like them together. So this is the Messenger one here. But yeah, so I use those for most of the beginning of Aries 1. And then I moved into Aries 2, continuing to use this because I still was feeling the Seekers and the Messengers. So I didn't change those out. I kept this one for a little while, but I moved away from this one because I wanted to pull out another one. Let me get it. And this is the other one. This is the Radiant Wilds Tarot. So when I left the vampires behind, I moved into this one. And I think it was mostly the sun energy. When the sun came around, I really was feeling this deck and these bright colors, because I've always felt like these colors remind me of the sun, whether it be a sunrise or a sunset. So I pulled it out, and did not regret it. This deck is wonderful. It reads fabulously. It's high vibe. It's interesting to look at. It's thoughtful. The guidebook is nice, gives you some things to think about and consider. It looks fabulous with these oracle decks that I was liking. So this is the messengers. Let's take a look at the seekers. Okay, so this is the seeker. Now, artwork wise, they're not that different, right? Because it's the same artist, Raven Philand, I think is her name. And Blue Angel has produced them on the same stock in the same format now, so they don't look that different, but they just feel different. The messages feel different to me. So I've separated them back out. I didn't like reading with them together. Plus, they were super thick together, and it was hard for me to shuffle them, which was annoying. But when they're like this, it's easier for me to shuffle. So yeah, love this combo. Really preferred the messengers, I gotta say, to the seekers, but it could have just been how I was feeling. This is beautiful. I didn't get this one. I like this card a lot, a lot, a lot. So yeah, that was my sun energy when it came to Aries too. And we were talking about the sun in Aries. I was using mostly the Radiant Wilds Tarot, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So then we put this one away mostly. I had it out for a little bit. Like, none of this was like, oh, 10 days came and the decks went away, right? Like I considered which ones I wanted to use, and I made a post on my community tab, and I tried to stick to them. But if I felt something else, then I did not feel bad about changing them around or anything like that. The next deck that for the Venus energy, the one that was really, really the most influential for me during that time was this one. And this is the Rose Oracle from Hay House. The box is in the closet because I freaking hate it. I gotta tell you, I get it. Um, I get what they're trying to do with it, but that box is a pain in the ass. Like, no joke. I put that damn thing in the closet. I don't know what I'm gonna keep this deck in. At the moment, I'm using it quite a bit. So it's sitting on my desk just kind of like this. But I don't, but I will eventually need to find something to put this in. But that box is probably gonna go in the damn trash. I can't with that box. But it's beautiful. It's pretty. That's why I haven't thrown it out yet. Anyways, this is the Rose Oracle from Hay House. Now, this was a deck that was on my decks. I think it was on my decks to work with this year. To Logan from Larkin Legend did a tag. I think it was called like Reconnects, and I did it, and I'm pretty sure this was on my Reconnect decks, and it was also um on another video I did where it was like the deck that I don't get or some shit like that, but I actually really get it now because I've been using it, and and it's crazy because for so long I had a block with it, and I was like, I don't get this deck. And I bought it because everybody loves Rebecca Campbell's decks, and I don't have even one. And I wanted to get one. And I saw this one, and it was roses. I love roses. They remind me of my mother because she loves roses. And so I was like, I am going to get this one. This is going to be my deck. And then I got it, and it fell so flat for me. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand where she was trying to go with it. And I just couldn't connect to it. And I felt that way for so long. And then I pulled it out during Aries 3, Venus and Aries. And from the first card I pulled, it clicked. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with the turn of the map, the astrological map or whatever, or where stuff was in the sky. But I love it now. I get it. And I work with it, and it's very clear to me, and it gives me a lot of intuitive hits. And the guidebook is good too. I've been using it. There's some good write-ups in here, some interesting information. You can see I've been taking some notes. I think I wrote in it a little. I thought I saw something where I wrote in here. Yeah, underlined some things. So yeah, I've been using this one, and I stuck with it for a while. I was planning to use it with the Tarot of Mystical Moments, and I did one day, and I didn't like it. So, didn't I know that's what I posted on my community tab, but like I said, sometimes you just got to go with what you want to use, with what you're feeling. And I wasn't feeling that one. So, I swapped to some other decks, and I mixed it with a bunch. I used it with a few. If you want to see if you want to see a couple of the decks that I used with it, you can check out my Instagram. I actually posted some of the polls from this on there. But this is a beautiful deck, and if you haven't seen it, I'd love the opportunity to show it to you. So I'm thankful to have the opportunity to show it to you. Look at this one. Oh, the thorn, protection, boundaries, and clear communication. The artwork is so dreamy, and the backs, oh my God, the backs. I've always loved the backs from the beginning. And I think the backs are probably the reason I didn't rehome it the first time I put it in purgatory. um, which I'm glad that these backs are as beautiful as they are, because if I would have rehomed this deck, I wouldn't have had the experience that I had with it in Aries 3. So I'm very excited. It's actually still out. We're in Taurus now, and it's still out, and I don't plan to put it away anytime soon. I'm really enjoying having this energy with to pull from, and so that is a deck that a deck experience that I have really enjoyed, and I wanted to document for the Decan walk. And so that's, I think, all that I have to say for my Aries season wrap up. If you guys have been doing any fun things with your Aries season, let me know below. If you're not doing YouTube videos, I'm trying to watch as many of the YouTube videos as I can. I've really been enjoying myself, learning what everybody else is doing. Some people are doing beautiful journals. I know Phyllis Santuccia. If you haven't been over there to see her journal, oh my God, like it's so lovely. And some people have been like me and just, you know, strolling along instead of walking. We're just kind of skipping along. But I've been enjoying myself so far. I am moving into Taurus season feeling very apprehensive. I came into Aries season feeling very anxious, and I'm moving into Taurus season with some apprehension because I'm not feeling like I really want to be here. Like I don't want to move. Like I feel like the year is going too quickly. I want to regress a little bit or even just hold fast for a moment. But alas, we cannot do that. So we are moving into Taurus season, kicking and screaming if that's what has to happen. And I'll be back in a month to recap Taurus season and let you know how it went. All right, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I record videos every few days or so regarding tarot and oracle. Until I see you next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.